She had 17 half-finished Word documents, a dream she couldn't complete, and a blinking cursor that felt like it was mocking her. Rachel had always wanted to write a book. Not just wanted, she'd needed to, the way some people need to paint or sing or build something with their hands. The story lived inside her. It had for years, but every time she sat down to let it out, life got in the way, or fear did, or both. Rachel was a 38-year-old marketing coordinator from Columbus, Ohio. Busy schedule, 2 kids, a commute that swallowed her mornings and evenings whole. She'd started her book 4 times. 4 times! The first attempt died in chapter 2. The second never made it past the outline. The third, her most promising draft, was abandoned after a brutal feedback session with a friend who meant well but didn't understand what it cost Rachel to share it. The fourth, she deleted it herself, sat in her car in a parking lot and held her phone until the progress bar finished, and it was gone. She told herself she wasn't a real writer, that the people who finished books were different, more disciplined, more talented, more something she clearly wasn't. She stopped trying, quietly, without telling anyone, and she carried that silence like weight. 14 months later, she was scrolling through a Facebook group for aspiring authors when she stumbled across a post from a woman she'd never heard of. The woman had self-published 3 books in 1 year. No agent, no publisher, no writing degree. She worked full-time as a nurse. Her secret, she wrote, wasn't discipline or talent. It was AI. Rachel stared at the post for a long time. Her first reaction was dismissal. A nurse wrote 3 books with AI? That's not real writing, that's cheating. She'd heard the arguments before. AI was a shortcut, a crutch, a way for people without real ability to fake something they hadn't earned. Real books came from real struggle, real late nights, real sacrifice. If AI could just do it for you, what was the point? She scrolled past the post, but she came back to it twice before bed. At 11:30 p.m., while the house was finally quiet, Rachel opened her laptop. She didn't commit to anything. She just looked. What she found rearranged something in her mind. AI, she learned, didn't write for you, not really. It wrote with you. It was a thinking partner, something you could talk to, argue with, shape, and redirect. You brought the ideas, the emotion, the characters, the vision. It brought structure, speed, and a way through the blank page that didn't require you to white-knuckle it through every single sentence alone. She learned that authors were using it to build outlines in hours instead of weeks, to draft chapters they could then rewrite in their own voice, to brainstorm plot problems they'd been stuck on for months, to format manuscripts, write back cover blurbs, even design marketing copy for launch. It wasn't replacing the writer, it was removing the friction between the writer and the page. Rachel thought about that for a long time. She decided to try, just once, just to see. She opened a free AI tool, typed a prompt, and asked it to help her start chapter 1 of her book. What came back was terrible. Stiff, sanitized, emotionally flat. It read like someone had summarized a story rather than told one. None of her voice was in it, none of the texture she'd always imagined when she pictured her book finished and real. She closed the laptop. I knew it. This isn't for me either. She didn't open it again for 4 days. But on the 5th day, something shifted. She thought about the nurse. 3 books, full-time job, 1 year. She thought about her 4 abandoned drafts, 14 months of silence, the parking lot, the progress bar. She thought about how many more years she was willing to spend carrying a story she never told. So she went back, this time differently. She didn't ask the AI to write for her. She talked to it like a collaborator. She described her characters in detail, their wounds, their contradictions, the things they wanted and the things they were afraid to want. She explained the emotional core of her story. She asked for structure, not sentences. She took what it gave her and rewrote it, in her words, in her rhythm. It was slow at first, clumsy, but it was hers. And this time, she didn't stop. 6 weeks in, Rachel finished her first complete chapter. She read it back and cried, not from frustration, but from something she hadn't felt in connection to her writing in years: pride. The chapter was good, not perfect, but genuinely, unmistakably good, and it sounded like her, not like a machine, not like a template, not like the 4 failed attempts that had come before. She kept going. Over the next 3 months, she built a writing rhythm she'd never managed before. 45 minutes every night after the kids were in bed. AI helped her outline each chapter before she wrote it, so she never sat to a blank page. When she got stuck on a scene, she talked through it to the tool the way she would with a writing partner. When the dialogue felt flat, she used it to stress test what her characters would actually say. The draft came together faster than she thought possible. And when it was done, all 68,000 words of it, she sat in the same chair where she deleted her 4th attempt and felt something close to disbelief. Rachel self-published her book 4 months after finishing the draft. She didn't make the bestseller list, she didn't go viral, she didn't quit her job, but she sold 340 copies in the first 2 months, mostly to strangers, people she'd never met in places she'd never been, who messaged her to say her story moved them. One woman from Georgia wrote, "I felt like you wrote this about me." Rachel read that message 3 times. She's now 40,000 words into her 2nd book. Her outline took 2 days. Her first chapter took 1 evening. She no longer describes herself as someone who wants to write a book. She describes herself as an author. Rachel didn't become a writer because AI made it easy. Rachel became a writer because she stopped believing that hard was the only way it was allowed to be. The struggle of writing, the real struggle, was never about the words. It was about showing up to the blank page consistently enough, long enough, for the story to finally come through. AI didn't write Rachel's book. Rachel wrote Rachel's book. AI just made sure the blank page never got to win again. If you've been sitting on a story, a book, a guide, a memoir, an idea you've been calling not ready for years, the tool exists. The path is clearer than it's ever been. The only thing still in the way is the decision. If Rachel's story moved you, subscribe. Every week, we bring you real stories and practical insight about AI, success, productivity, and digital wealth creation in language that actually makes sense for where you are right now. Your future could begin with one decision today.